stem cell production is increased by 800%. It's now highly recommended, and this comes from the major stem cell centers in the States. This is not me saying this, but we love to hear this. It is highly recommended that if you have had a stem cell transplant, which is becoming more common, you should do HBOT, which is hyperbarics,
Hyperbarics.
as soon as possible afterwards. So the two go hand in hand.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
I've heard some stories of a lady who was a dancer, and she really wore her joints out. So she had knee problems and needed surgery for her knees. And was afraid that she would never be able to dance or never be able to do the things that she used to do. So she started using the stem cell, and that's quite pricey. Like that's
It is,
thousands for that procedure. But she is now touring, going around saying like this is just
absolutely
amazing. So comparably, however, the price is comparable to the stem cell, because I know the stem cells thousands.
Yes. So with respect to it, for instance, this week there's a seminar here in Lethbridge over at the Holiday Inn.
Okay.
And this company and they're actually based just outside of Coeur d'Alene, and they have a number of stem cell centers throughout the U.S., but they have come here to Lethbridge and Red Deer, Calgary, and Edmonton over the course of the last 3 months doing seminars. So depending upon the condition, whether it be a knee joint or shoulder or whatever, and how severe it is, and I've been at their seminars to learn a little bit more about it, is that it can be roughly $5,000 to $6,000 all the way up to 10 or 12 or even more than that, depending upon the severity and how much. So when you go to Kalispell or wherever you go, then they'll do the assessment and determine as to how much you need to pay. Now on that note, from what I know and even previous to that, stem cell therapy is highly effective.
Yes.
It is. Now,
but you're saying the follow-up.
The follow-up, in that, as an example, there's been probably 3 or 4 ladies that have gone down to San Diego to called what is Stemmatics, and Stemmatics is one of the more well-known stem cell centers in the States for MS and for other health conditions. But when they've come back and the doctors have told them, okay, when you go back home, wherever it is, you need to find and be doing hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And that what I am reading here and what we're learning and what you watched on that video is that, yes, you can go off for a stem cell transplant, unbeknown to virtually anybody. When you do hyperbaric oxygen therapy, it stimulates the body's own internal production of stem cells. So unlike going
like
for
your fighter T cells, kind of.
Yeah.
That's what I use with my light work. As I have your body start its own energy force.
Yes, very good.
That your own body has these chemicals or these what are they called? they're their own cells that will attack things that aren't working right and turn whatever's not working, get rid of it, and start to have that cell rejuvenate itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I use with light work, actually. We're using with my angel therapy.
Yeah.
And
so there's some similarity.
That's just mentally and spiritually
in that.
doing that. And this is actually almost the same technique, from what I'm listening, is that the technique that I use with my spiritual practice and in being with an angel practitioner, the angels can do this work also. But this way, science can prove that this is actually a thing too, right? So it's really interesting for me to see that comparison.
Good.
Yeah.
And as the awareness of stem cell therapy is growing, and as I was explaining to you, and to the degree that the viewers perhaps know a little bit about this, or if you were to go to a seminar here in Lethbridge, wherever, that stem cell, and we say stem cell therapy or transplant, the stem cells are being transplanted into that particular area. So in other words, if it needed to be my shoulder or I had a knee operation, that's where the stem cells go. So what a stem cell is,
I was just
simply
gonna ask that.
can
Yes.
be described, and the doctors use these terms.
Mhm.
It's a healing cell, it's a rebuilding cell, or a repair cell.
Right.
So now that you have literally millions of more of these repair cells put into that particular area,
Mhm.
that's simplistically why or how the healing takes place. And it really isn't much more complicated than that. Okay? So then I've got a knee operation.
So
and
your
I've
cells
had
are very smart, actually. They
Mhm.
got a lot of information in this cell.
Absolutely they
Yeah.
do. Absolutely. So
Even
I've
though it
had a
just
friend
seems
of
like a
mine,
little blob.
in fact, 2 or 3
Mhm.
fellows have come in to do hyperbaric therapy.
Hyperbaric therapy.
Mhm.
You can look that up on YouTube.
And it has helped them. It's the stem cell transplant that they've had, and it just has helped it be more effective. Now, stem cell therapy, back to, we're not going to talk a whole bunch more, that particular area. The cool thing about hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT, is that
Because
when
we have light,
the
we have
body-
oxygen,
yeah,
and
well, here, just hang on, is that stimulation of stem cells, those stem cells, by the very nature of how they are designed, they literally will go and they seek to go to areas of the body that need to be repaired or healed or fixed or whatever.
they're smart enough to know where
Yes.
to go. Mhm.
Absolutely. So your whole body is flooded with stem cells. So when people are doing hyperbaric therapy,
Mhm.
irrespective of initially what has attracted them to come in, oh, it's like I've got Parkinson, or I've had a stroke, or I've had a concussion, other parts of the body get repaired at the same time.
So there's all kinds of things going on, but it will go to where you need it most, because that's where it's inflamed, and that's where
True.
inflammation has occurred. That's
Yes.
going to be an area in your body that's going to be saying help,
Exactly.
basically.
Mhm.
And your cells receive that light or the oxygen
Yes.
through the blood,
Mhm.
or even through the light or the pressure, and it just focuses in on that. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying? So some of the things that are used for this, what I was watching, is children with autism.
Yes.
So rather than, I know one of my family members is, I'm not sure if it's not really autism, but it's ADD.
Mhm.
And they've put him on medication, and he was a fantastic artist, like incredible. And now he doesn't really care to pick up a pen because he's medicated. And I really just think he was just a really smart, energetic little kid,
Mhm.
and like a fantastic little creative, interesting person. And now he's kind of just calm and sits down, like, behaves. And I find that almost sad. I mean,
It really is.
when I was growing up, we had kids in our class that were annoying. And we didn't make them take drugs. We just, made them sit down or go to the corner or something.
mhm.
We didn't force our children to take drugs. And I see this as a really good way for people who are against giving their children drugs. And I think that from the shows that we were watching and the stuff that I've watched, that this makes a change in them also.
Very much so.
So we have like autism, ADD, people with muscle pains, numbness. What does it do for the numbness? I know I get numbness in my hands too.
Okay. So when you have numbness in your hands,
Mhm.
simplistically, why would it be numb? Because
Because I don't put my iPhone down when I'm like this.
yes, okay, that would be part of it. But it's whatever has occurred, whether it be an injury, but it's restricted circulation, isn't it?
Well, I definitely have had shoulder injuries.
Yes. So whether it be
that
when you
could
have,
be it.
see, the numbness, whatever, something
Mhm.
is causing, we'd say something, but whatever has occurred, that the circulation isn't as normal. So when you have poor circulation, and in behind all that, what we've talked about, then inflammation. So simply, what hyperbaric does is, and children can understand this, is like, okay, as I put up my finger, and you put elastic band around the finger,
Right.
okay, and what happens?
The end of your finger's going to turn red, and it's going to start to hurt. And
Right.
get prickly and pokey.
Exactly. And why? Did you
Because
hit
there's
the
no
hammer? Did you hit the
circulation.
finger with the hammer? No.
Because the blood isn't being able to circulate there.
Exactly. The rubber band has restricted the circulation. Pretty soon, like you say, it turns color and it hurts.
Well, it strobes, yeah.
Yeah,
Goes numb, goes cold.
yeah. So those proverbial elastic bands that are, let's say, around or in our body in that form that are restricting circulation, what hyperbaric does is increase the circulation, and when circulation is increased, but it also triggers the release of oxygen in
Right.
that area. Inflammation then decreases, you've got oxygen in the area, and yes, on a one-time basis, you might not notice much of a difference, but over a number of
I'm still feeling a
uses,
difference. I've
yeah,
only been in there
mhm.
once, and I'm still feeling like there's something different on my
Yes.
skin. There's something different about how I feel,
Mhm.
like after one
Yeah.
session.
But going forward, then continued use of hyperbaric healing will occur and get right to the source or the base of it with respect to many other modalities of which can encourage that or stimulate it, but primarily whether it be, and I'm mindful of this, massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, and a host of others, of which all serve the purpose of reducing pain or feeling better. It doesn't get to the core and induce healing, of which hyperbaric does.
Wow, that is just some medical almost
Yeah.
terms there. It might have been a little bit difficult for some people to understand. You can always go through and rewind. We're live on YouTube right now. So I'm here with Robert Smylski, and he is from the Lethbridge
Vibrant.
U
Mhm.
Hyperbarics.
Mhm.
And he has a couple of chambers in his office that look like little space chambers, and you crawl in and get squished and a little bit of extra dose. It doesn't really feel like you're getting squished,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can feel you're getting pressured up as the pressure starts to happen. And you're also breathing in extra oxygen, and this is used as in a form for curing and helping your body repair itself in a natural way. We are here in downtown Lethbridge, live on Jess FM, and I'm Debb from DebbzDen.com. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm an angel empowerment practitioner. So I'm always here on Jess FM looking for different ways to introduce people to different methods of healing. And on that note, I'm also having, and there is next weekend on the 17th of November, we are having Lethbridge's healing and metaphysical market called Meet Your Maker. So we also have crafts going on, and we have Meet Your Maker market, which will be at the Legion next Saturday. And if anybody's interested in maybe seeing one of these chambers, where are you also located?
We're located, and I always start off and say everyone knows where Northside Canadian Tire is,
Right.
and the Canadian Tire gas bar,
Right.
and the Bank of Montreal on the corner.
Yeah, right next to the Bank of Montreal. If you park
Just go
there.
west, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
So Deb, for the time remaining,
Mhm.
and it's one thing as we've talked about, okay, a little bit of the science and that, but I would just like to share a few examples of people that have come into our office or our center here.
Let me just go through this list first of all. So it's used for different things like numbness, autism, muscle, so people with sports injuries, people who've got
Very much so.
yeah, very much with sports, diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
People, I'm not sure how that would work, diabetes.
Circulation.
With the circulation, right? Okay, fatigue, fibromyalgia,
Mhm.
those kinds of things. Inflammation, of course. This is healthy for kids because they're not taking in anything besides oxygen, which is something that we all do anyway. And we suggest, about 40 sessions,
Well-
but even just coming in and trying it.
Right.
But if you have something serious, you might want to make a bit of a commitment. And if you want to really see a definite change, and this is an alternative to drugs, which is unless you
Mhm.
consider oxygen a drug,
Mhm,
love
mhm.
is like oxygen, yeah. And a little bit about the lights.
Well, I think, okay, lights, but not to add too much to it, so if you don't mind in the just hyperbaric, but
Okay.
is that, so for all the conditions that
Well, that's
Debb
just a
has
few of
talked
the
about.
ones, just a
Yes.
few. I mean, there's
And to help
so
people
many more.
understand, well, I'm going to go back to stem cells. Is it stem cell as that healing repair cell? So as I'm learning, and all of us are learning when we're working with hyperbaric oxygen, irrespective of the health condition, when you're flooding your body with literally millions of these healing cells, which is the stem cells, then the body will heal. There might be some repair jobs that take a little bit longer, but whether it be autism, whether it be MS, whether it be in some cases very, let's say, not so common conditions,
Right.
hyperbaric will indeed, when I say heal, but you will see some results. So it's not as if hyperbaric will work for maybe 3/4 of the people,
Right.
and it doesn't work for the other. That's not the case. Hyperbaric will be effective for literally almost any condition.
That
And
is
here's an
amazing.
example
What
of-
is something that you can do that doesn't include medication that's good for
Exactly.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And I just
that's
want
the
to share
big
this
deal.
story, and people can go on YouTube, but this is a story of a little girl, and this made the news. How much more time have we got here?
We started a little bit late, so we got about 15 minutes.
Okay. This is a story that people can go on YouTube, and you just put in hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Let's talk
and
actually
Eden
about a couple
Carl.
of your
Well,
clients.
this
that
is
you-
one of them
is this
that
one of your
ties into
clients?
them, okay?
Okay, 'cause I
So
know
this
we were
particular
hoping to bring
story
somebody in
is
today.
of a little girl, Eden, who fell in the backyard swimming pool of their home in the
that's
States.
terrible.
Yep. And when Eden, her mom found Eden, she'd been in the pool for roughly 20 minutes or so. So when they took Eden out, Eden had drowned. So Eden's future was going to be in a vegetative state.
No oxygen to the brain.
Exactly, and that's what happened. So fortunately for Eden, is that the attending doctors had heard of, and this was in the States or the US, and I'm not sure exactly where, but they recommended to the parents, why don't you consider hyperbaric oxygen therapy? So they took Eden to see Dr. Harsh at the Louisiana
Oh, so
State.
she survived.
Well, she was in a vegetative state, and there's the picture of Eden in the hospital. So there she
Okay.
is. Okay. So when they took Eden to see Dr. Harsh, and Eden would be roughly, 2.5 years old, they put
Right.
Eden in a low pressure, what we call mild hyperbaric chamber, similar to what you were in.
Okay.
And
Mine didn't feel too hot, too
as
mild.
a
It
little
felt good.
girl, okay, she didn't even have the mask on. They just put Eden in this chamber and did an hour session, 90 minutes every day, and within a matter of even a week, Eden started to show signs of improving. So on YouTube, and yes, you really can't see this, but this picture shows Eden being in the hospital, and literally after
What's
less
the email,
than
or what's
6
the address there to look up if somebody
well,
wants to
you could
look it
just
up?
go to YouTube and put in Eden Carlson.
Okay,
There's
Eden Carlson
after
on YouTube.
roughly 50 sessions of hyperbaric, just like you were doing, and Eden has recovered 100%.
Wow.
Now, this is, as her mother says and other people say, this literally is a miracle.
It
And the
is.
attending doctors have said there is not another therapy, none, zero, that would have accomplished what hyperbaric did. Okay?
Well, especially with what her damage is.
Yes. Okay, so from that story to there is a family here in Lethbridge.
So you're saying she recovered physically, mentally,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
everything?
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely. In
that is
fact, I've
beautiful.
read some articles written recently, and her mom says she's even, more advanced than what she was before. Yes. Okay, so from that story,
Maybe she took a little trip.
yeah, is that there is a
I'd like to hear her
family
story.
here
Yeah.
in Lethbridge, and through some friends of theirs that they'd heard about hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Right.
So they come into the office and just to inquire and to learn about hyperbaric therapy. They have a son, 3 years old, and he's now 5 years old. But when he was 3 years old, Titus swallowed a peanut, okay? And virtually the same thing occurred for this little boy, basically brain dead. So when they brought Titus in, and his story has been out on Facebook here in Lethbridge, so this is not like or their privacy, whatever. It was a
Right.
great story. So when they brought Titus in, here's this little boy now 5 years old on a feeding tube, and Titus really can't do anything. Now, Titus's future, Eden's future, would be pretty grim. So when I showed them the information and the video on Eden, they said,
Right.
well, maybe it'll work. They didn't know it would work. So Titus's mom would bring Titus in. I would help them get in the chamber. Her mom would get in. I would pass Titus into the chamber, and just like then what you did.
Yeah.
Titus,
I climbed in.
yeah, we just had the oxygen tube near where Titus could breathe it in, but he couldn't put the mask on.
Very small.
Within 2 sessions, okay, Titus, I could see that, and his mom confirmed that he seems to be a little bit more active, okay, and
Wow.
only coming in twice a week. Now, to get the results of which hyperbaric is capable of doing, you need to do ideally 3 to 4.
A week?
One or two, so. But here's because of the, let's say, circumstance at home and Titus's mom and homeschooling, all that, she couldn't come in any more than that. So they made the decision that, okay, we think, we hope, and a combination of having some faith that this hyperbaric could help Titus. Now, they didn't know for sure, but based on the information that I gave them, they said, well, just like the story that you watched of Shannon Kenneth and her daughter. She says, hey, I'm willing to try hyperbaric, and it sounds like maybe it could help. So
That
Titus,
story actually made me cry, I believe.
yes, Titus and
Because
his
she was so
mom,
happy that her child had recovered
yes,
in a way that she was having a normal life, where
Mm-hmm.
before the treatments she had
Yeah.
really no vision
Right.
of seeing a
And-
normal life.
and her daughter was about
Right.
to die,
Yes.
really,
And it was very, very
Mhm.
emotional.
yeah. So briefly, back
We
to
have
Titus,
some
and just to finish up the
technology
story.
coming
Is it? Are we done?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm just kidding. This is always something going on here in the Just FM studios in downtown Lethbridge here. And I think we've probably gone through a set over here and had a few changes going on. And there's a few things always going on here. And hopefully next week I'm going to have a new set, and it's going to be awesome.
So we'll finish up with the story, though.
Yes,
This is
let's talk a little bit
okay.
more about
So,
what's going on here.
Titus' parents made the decision that, okay, we can't come in and do this on a consistent, we'll buy a hyperbaric chamber. So they bought a hyperbaric chamber very similar to, almost identical as to what you were in today.
It looks actually quite portable.
It is.
It doesn't
Yeah,
look
and
like a
that's we're
heavy,
going to
bulky thing.
then
It's
have
kind of
that
just
chamber
like
on display at
kind
your
of like
show.
a big balloon.
Okay, so Titus did about 12 sessions. The chamber that they ordered through me arrived, they set it up in their home, and then I went over to help them set it up, and actually they're relatively easy to set up.
Yeah, it doesn't look too tough.
Okay.
Couple of little, nothing more
So
than putting
fast
up a tent.
forward to now that the hyperbaric chamber is at home, Titus and his mom, as well as then some of his sisters, but Titus was in the chamber 5 to 6 days a week, roughly an hour, a little bit more than an hour a day.
So
When I was-
perfectly safe. There's no
Oh,
side effects.
Absolutely. There's zero risk for these hyperbaric chambers because they can be bought, sold, and used in your home. So now,
And Health Canada has got that all certified. And
yeah,
so
I mean, there's no
there's no
concern
chemicals.
whatsoever.
There's
None
no,
whatsoever.
there's
So
no
when I
real
was at-
physical contact.
So fast forward now that Titus is doing hyperbaric, whether it be with his mom or his sister, neither here nor there. Now that Titus had done probably, say, 25 or 30.
Right.
Now, at this point in time, okay, what Titus could do, couldn't speak, absolutely couldn't speak whatsoever.
Wow.
Now, as we were doing more, his body movement, and you could see it in his eyes, and when I would talk to him, or when his mom would talk to him, just the way in which he would try to communicate, you could see that something was going on. Well, after
being-
roughly about
yeah.
25 or 30 sessions, okay, give or take, and there was some friends of mine who were using the hyperbaric chamber. They were over visiting the family. They were good friends. So they were there, I don't know, on a Sunday night or whatever, and there's Titus and his sister getting out of the chamber.
Mhm.
And Titus gets out of the chamber, and he speaks for the first time since
Wow.
prior to swallowing of the peanut.
Oh my
Titus
gosh.
gets out of
what
the
a horrible
chamber.
thing to think a peanut could do such a thing.
Well, he choked on it, okay? But
Yes.
here's Titus, looks at his mom, and he says, Mama,
Oh my
Mama,
God.
speaks for the first time.
Wow.
Okay, so
That
here,
would've been
this is a story
heart-wrenching.
here in Lethbridge, similar to what
Yeah.
happened to Eden
Well,
Carlson
it's really
Driver.
sad for me because I actually have a friend who is a similar age to me, and he had an infection, an inflammatory problem, and it blocked off his breathing
Yeah.
before he got to the hospital, and he went brain dead. And after quite a while, because his body was brain dead, he was brain dead,
Mhm.
they just unplugged him.
Yeah.
And it took a long time. It took days for him to die after they unplugged him.
Mhm.
And that was completely, he had young children and stuff at the time, and it was just absolutely horrific. And so if anybody's listening and knows of somebody, please look it up, tell people, because I wish I would have known.
Yeah. So whether it be that, very touching story of
Mhm.
Titus, and
That just
whether it
sounded
be,
really exciting.
we've had
What
a
a
gentleman
thing
from
to do.
Tabor come in with Parkinson, and we've had other, and literally, when we talk
That's
about,
reminding me of my friend.
yeah, reverse aging, people think reverse aging, in that we are able to, when I say we, but through hyperbaric, to reverse the effects of, whether it be Parkinson, Alzheimer's, dementia, all of those health conditions. The effects of it can literally be reversed. And I have a number of clients here, whether it be here or our centers down in the States, that literally it saved their life. And there isn't
Wow.
any other therapy out there that can do that as simple and as effective as what hyperbaric oxygen therapy can do.
So, and that's why I've got you here.
Yes.
Is because, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit emotional because I've lost so many people that, could have been saved.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're going to be able to hopefully see you next Saturday if people want to come in and just talk to you. And will you have a chamber? Do you know if
Yes,
you'll bring
we'll
a
have
chamber
the
into the
chamber
market?
on display.
Wow, that's going to be
Absolutely.
fantastic. And
And
that's
people will be able to come
Uh-huh.
and go in the chamber, say for
Wow.
30 minutes at no cost. This is all free.
Wow. Really?
Come and learn about, indeed, the amazing,
Yeah.
remarkable healing, let's say,
Mhm.
aspects of what hyperbaric oxygen therapy can do. So,
I'm just amazed at the progress from people
yeah.
and the touching stories and the idea that people are out there suffering and dying
Yeah.
when they could be getting help here in
Yeah.
Lethbridge.
Yeah.
And so if people are listening and they are here in Lethbridge and they have a senior or they have a child that needs some sort of help that the doctors are saying they can't do anything for besides maybe medicate them so that they're comfortable, they could maybe try this.
Mhm.
And that would maybe make a difference in their life. And if you want to come down then to next week, it's from 11 till 6 at the Lethbridge Legion. That's right on Mayor McGrath there across from...
Under the jet.
Yeah, underneath the jet, the airplane that's there at the Legion there. And we're just going to be around back at the Meet Your Maker Market. I'll have signs out and posters out. How can people contact you directly?
Simply go on, and right now our website is not operating for whatever
Okay.
reason, but you could go on Vibrant You Facebook or simply
Vibrant You, that's...
Yeah,
it's just-
Vibrant You Hyperbarics. If we just
Vibrant
think of
You
Vibrant You Hyperbarics,
And
and
I shared
You
that,
wanna
and we'll leave
post
a
the phone
tag in the...
number, yeah?
in-
do you want to give them the phone number?
Yeah, absolutely.
403-380-4644. 380-4644.
4644. So that's 444s to me are like angel number, right?
380-4644.
Okay. And you're going to ask for Robert, or you'll
Yes,
answer
that's
the
right.
phone. I've heard you answer the phone in your beautiful cheery voice. So that will be something to look into, people. And I think everybody knows somebody who could use this.
Absolutely.
I think absolutely everybody. I know I have a sister who's an amputee,
Yeah.
and she's got a lot of things going on in her hips and her back now that she's been an amputee for most of her life. She lost her leg when she was 18, and she's just turned 58 this week. So, that's a lot of years to be walking around with one leg.
Yeah.
And she's tough as nails, and she's really a go-getter. But it's starting to feel like deterioration, starting to feel like she needs some extra help. So I will definitely, she's up in Calgary.
Yep.
And but I know people who are carrying around oxygen tanks too, that are here in Lethbridge, and that makes me quite sad. And that for the friends that I've lost, it kind of makes me sad too. But it's more about the happy that there's something out there, and I'm really excited to bring this to the attention of people and bring it onto YouTube. We'll be able to check you on YouTube. We'll have your name up and everything there, and the Hyperbarics. And those sites too, and we'll connect those also in the links when we share this to Facebook. I'm not sure if we're on Facebook right now. Yes, we are. Yay! So, but that's probably going to be edited, and we'll have a new one, a few versions. And I think we're probably changed sets during here, and we magically moved places from the forest and came inside into my den. I'm pretty sure that might have happened. So where are we at here? Oh, we're getting close to time, and it just feels like it just flew by, like the whole hour. And it always does here in Debbz Den, and I want to thank people for listening and coming in and tuning in to Jess FM and watching our show here, and all of the other DJs and TV hosts and producers that we have. I'm a producer on my own show here, so I'm kind of working on it on my own, so please be patient with me. And at the end of Debbz Den, I always have a bit of a meditation, and I always wing it. I've never got plans, so I'm winging it, and I think I'm going to work. Are you ready for a meditation? And then we'll go once more about with our information. So I'm going to just ask you to just relax and imagine you are in a solid tube of white light. This is going to be a little bit like what I experienced today, so that's what I'm going to do. So I want you to just breathe in and just put yourself where you are right now in a relaxed state. If you're driving, pay attention to what you're doing, but if you're just listening in the background, that's fine too. I just want you to take a deep breath, and we're just going to go up above, go through the atmosphere and go up above the planet. And I'm going to have a little white light just above you open up in the atmosphere and come right down with Archangel Uriel and drop that piece of white light into your crown chakra, going through your crown, third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plex energy, going into your sacral energy, down into your root energy, going down your legs, going through your knees, down your calves, into your ankles, through your feet, through the balls of your feet, and out the bottom of your toes. We're going to have that white light come in and anchor right into the earth, going down deep. As high as we went high, we're going to go down as deep into the earth with anchoring this beautiful white light around you. And we're going to go right down into the center of the earth where there's a whole beautiful world, the most beautiful meadow you've ever seen. And in this beautiful meadow, there's a beautiful river. And next to the beautiful river, there are 4 boulders. We're going to wrap your energy around those boulders now. Your beautiful white light is going to go to the north, the south, the east, and the west. Going to wrap your energy around so that anything that's negative energy can flow down this and be grounded into the ground. And as your negative energy hits these rocks, it's going to flow off into the river and turn into nourishment for the earth, as all energy is energy. And we can always turn our negative energy into positive energy. Coming back up that cord now, back into our bodies. Our whole entire body is now lit. So any kind of darkness that was in your body, any kind of pain, any kind of darkness, we have now changed that to brightness. All the darkness is now going to the edge of your body And taking a deep breath, bringing in oxygen through your lungs. We're going to have Archangel Michael now cut all of the cords around your beautiful bubble that you're in, removing all of the cords of negative energy. Now, within this bubble that you're in, we're going to just turn that beautiful white light now into a green light. And as it goes green, I'm going to ask that your body remember its fighter T cells. And remember that there is cells within your body that will help you heal. I'm going to ask everyone listening, everyone that's hearing, to talk to your body and tell your body, ignite fighter T cells. Ignite fighter T cells. And ignite the fighter T cells. And as that happens, your body is going to start an attack on things that are unhealthy, and things that are not serving you, and things that are causing you pain and disturbances in your aura. We're going to release all that energy now as Archangel Michael cuts it all off, anything that's not serving you. Taking a deep breath again, we're going to fill that bubble that you're in complete pink light. Going from top to bottom, crystal pink light now. Just putting in self-love. Knowing that the best love that you can have is for yourself. And when you love yourself and you love your body and you love your spirit, that your energy flows more evenly and more effortlessly. May you always be in the light. May you always find peace and happiness in your life and every day. And please drop by at Debbz Den again. I'm here on Thursdays from 4 till 5. You can find me on YouTube on Just TV with the little Canadian flag. Or you can go to Facebook. Just TV is our page on Facebook. You can go to justfm.ca in the App Store, and that's with Android or Apple. And you can find us with your smartphone app and have that as a radio station. Our radio station, Just FM, broadcasts live around the world, and we have over 2.5 million subscribers. So please do that. Catch us here on Just TV, on Facebook also, and also there. Yeah, we're all over the place, going live, and also at your convenience. So thanks for listening, and remember you can find Debbz Den next week, and Robert will be at the Legion on next Saturday from 11 till 6. And we'd love for you to stop in and take a visit. And there's a couple more things you might want to add.
Well, first of all, yes, we could be here for another half an hour or so, but I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity in which to have a conversation about hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So that's what it's called, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, but it's a healing modality of which it is. We're mindful of, we don't say that it can cure anything, but as far as a modality, indeed, there are many other different modalities or therapies out there. And hyperbaric oxygen therapy is, and this is not my words, and I could quote a number of doctors that have been working with hyperbaric for many, many years, as a Dr. Jolly, a Dr. Harsh, and say very, unequivocally that hyperbaric is the most effective healing therapy that they have ever worked with. And the results are there to, say, testify that or confirm that. So awareness, awareness, awareness. And again, this time with you here and for all the listeners and viewers out there, I would encourage you simply, whether you contact me, but as we've said before, make use of good old YouTube, put in hyperbaric oxygen therapy and whatever condition that you may have, and you will see some amazing results. And there, yes, you could say these videos are, but there's nothing, literally, and I was told this by doctors, but you cannot find any real negative publicity or anything bad that can be said about hyperbaric, which is pretty rare about almost anything.
Yes, everything has its
So
two sides,
thank
the
you.
yin and the yang and everything.
The awareness, and indeed we have seen many, many lives changed dramatically as a result of hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
absolutely fantastic that we have this this service here in Lethbridge, and I hope people do check it out and do come and see us at the Legion next week on Saturday from 11 till 6. And I think that we're ready to sign off. Thanks for coming to Debbz Den.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Good.